Out in front of me were the 85%. I had none of the 10% sitting behind me on the rostrum. I'm too hot for them to come out and sit with me.
Greetings, kings and queens, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Interview with the Author, Q Taylor. I am your host, Tamala Kendall. Hi, I am Tamala Kendall, and this is Talks with the Author. And today we are here with the very talented Mr. Q Taylor, who actually has over 17 works. 7 of them are already published.
Yes.
So, I've always known you as an artist.
Right.
When exactly did you start writing?
As early as I can remember, when I was able to pick up a pen and a pencil, I was writing stories and drawing pictures. So.
Did you have any life influences that have led you to becoming a writer?
Yes, I can say my parents, my mother, she wrote poetry. My father was into journalism and he also wrote poetry. But when I attended the School for the Creative and Performing Arts, we attended a lot of writing conventions in which I was able to sit right up under famous authors and book writers and great storytellers from around the world. And those were my first inspirations. And they lit that fire up under my hiney, so.
Okay. So when it comes to your characters, are they based off of these people that you know, or are you creating them from scratch?
Oh, it just depends on the story. Some of them are based around people I know. Face Destiny, they had to do with, a lot of women that I knew. I based a lot of characters off of the women and older women in my life that I knew. And as for other ones, I just draw from different stories from around the world and, create my own. But I try to make my characters, I try to make people be able to relate to my characters.
Okay.
So, yeah.
So you do keep them very personal?
Very personal, yes, I try to.
How challenging is it for you to come up with the perfect title for these works?
It's fairly simple, except for when I'm trying to tell a deep story or the story's real powerful, then I want the title to be powerful as well. So,
okay. Yeah. And, with these characters that you develop,
okay.
Do some of them stick with you? Do you think of some of your characters from time to time and say, what would they do in this situation?
Yes, I use a lot of people as reference for my characters, and when I go back and read my stories or read the tales, it reminds me of some of the people that I use in their stories. And yeah, I wonder how they're doing, and some of them I know the end to, so, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so as far as the places in these stories, are they places that you've been, places that you want to go to?
Yeah, some of them are places that I've been. Some of them are actual historic places, and things happen in these particular places, and I decided to just kind of write around it, so.
Okay. So with all of your works, Face Destiny, why was that your first book?
Face Destiny was my first tale because I wanted a story that women could relate to, and I think that was a very important story to get out there to the public. Actually, it has several stories in it wrapped into one. It's just not about the main character, but a lot of those struggles I think women can relate to, and I think they need to be shared and told. And I think that was a great opportunity to expose those situations.
So was Face Destiny your most exciting book to write?
No, it was exciting, but the Black Wormhole, that I was excited about writing that the most because it's my first full-fledged science fiction novel, and it was kind of challenging, and I love space, so space exploration.
Okay, and I do have a question as far as the Black Wormhole.
Okay.
I know that's the first one published. Were there any other pilots to the Black Wormhole?
Yes, it's actually a sequel to that.
Really?
Yeah, that is actually a sequel.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So, you know, being that it's so hard to name something, whether it be a baby or a pet or,
Right.
you know, a business or a
Right.
product, how hard is it for you to come up with the names of your characters?
Okay, it's a good question. I get that a lot. Yeah, it's not very hard for me at all, except, you know, I just like to make the names powerful and meaningful to the readers, and I want names that people can relate to, you know, and that they're, you know, they feel a connection with. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So this question is directed towards the 19 Landings trilogy.
Okay.
How did you find the courage to write about some of the things that you chose? Because a lot of the topics, a lot of people choose to keep hidden.
Right. Yeah, yeah, it was kind of difficult at first, but I wanted to be a pioneer. I wanted to tell stories that the mainstream shy away from. And also there's some historical stories in there. I know it sounds made up when you read it, you're like, where did he get this from? But it actually took place, and I want you to do your research. I cleverly hid information within the books, within the names, within the stories, to get the readers to research certain key words from the novels and learn what actually took place.
Right. So
Yeah.
like they say, sometimes the truth is stranger than fiction.
Yes, that is very true. Exactly, right.
Okay.
Right.
So as far as Faith's Destiny, do you think that that story can help women today?
Oh, absolutely. Faith's Destiny just is the tribulation of a young woman who's just going through many different struggles on many different levels. And I think Faith's Destiny, writing it was a great opportunity to expose those struggles and, you know, those types of stories and feelings and emotions that women endure every day.
And with the sequel, Faith's Destiny 2, there is a very special place, the Red Room.
Right.
Do you have any insight for us or something that the reader may have overlooked?
Yeah, without giving too much of the story, you know, the Red Room is a metaphor, but it's a bad place. That this young lady, she finds the courage and the strength to get out of there. So, but it's a bad place that nobody wants to be in. So,
Okay.
yeah.
So, which one of your works would you most like to see or first like to see come to film?
I gotta say, Faith's Destiny. I had some offers that I had to turn down, but I have a big Faith's Destiny has a big fan base, and I think that's a novel that people would love to see.
Yeah.
Yeah, on film.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So, Mr. Q Taylor,
Yes.
the father, the author, the
That's
oil
right.
painter, the philosopher, the
Righteous.
inventor, the Renaissance man. Where do you see yourself in 10 years?
In 10 years, I see myself with no young kids, with no young children, all grown up out of my house. But I see myself sitting on 100 books, massive paintings, and into comics and other things. Yeah.
Okay.
So.
Okay, so sadly we've come to the end of
Yeah.
the artist interview.
Aww.
So again, I am Tamala Kendall.
That's right.
This is Talks with the Author, and this is the author, Q Taylor. Support your author. All of his works can be found at Barnes & Noble, Amazon.
.com and any online bookstore worldwide.
All right, thank you. Let's get some of these books.